Magic, welcome guys.
Thanks,
Thank
buddy.
you,
Welcome to the Bay Area. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Bay Area loves Canada.
Oh,
So
cool.
I want to say congratulations on your
being
Juno.
Canadian.
On being Canadian, yeah. No, on your Juno Awards,
Thank
two of
you.
them.
Thank
How
oh,
did-
thank you.
How did that feel winning those?
It was crazy, dude. We were there at the awards and we had like 30 of our family members all around us. So we rolled deep to the Juno. It was
Right.
awesome.
Now, are you guys tired of talking about Rude?
No,
Yes, we can't talk about it. No question, I'm sure.
we're exhausted of it.
So, now being from Toronto, how did you guys kind of come up with that whole reggae kind of ska vibe? Like it's like this cool island type of vibe.
When we invented reggae, I remember being in a gym. I think like why reggae happened for us is because we coming from Toronto, there's a big Jamaican population, and you hear a lot of reggae coming in
Okay.
Toronto, a lot more than most cities that I've been in or lived in. It's heavily populated and pretty influential music growing up.
Right.
But besides that, for us, reggae is just a part of it. We're not a reggae band,
Sure.
We just have a little reggae in our music. So, and in the essence of what that part is musically, it's really just a counter rhythmic part, and oftentimes just certain phrasing. But I think because people haven't heard a reggae song on the radio for a while,
been a while, yeah.
they see us as reggae, but we're not really a reggae band. We're really just a band
Right.
that makes music,
No.
But Rude is, I get it. But it's just not real reggae, so we don't want to call ourselves that. And
Exactly, yeah.
insult anybody in the real reggae
Right,
world.
Exactly, that's what it is. Yeah, because we get
'Cause,
asked this question a lot. He's entirely right. That's what it is. We have a reggae component to the music, but we just sort of came to it naturally. But we feel bad, or not bad, but we hesitate to say that we're a reggae band because it's just not really doing the justice genre to say that that's exactly what we are. There's so many different things that would be. It's a lifestyle style of music, and it's also something that doesn't have to be regional, but I feel like it's a beautiful style of music that we really look up to and appreciate. We include elements of it.
Sure.
And the Police was a big band that we really loved, and you hear that merger in our music as well. We kind of use that style of reggae in a way to sort of draw
It's
from.
a little rock,
a
soul.
little rock,
Right.
little soul.
And you'll hear that more and more as you listen to our album. You'll
Right.
hear all those elements. You'll hear the rock songs,
Yeah.
the pop songs.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's the music scene like in Toronto?
It's incredible, man.
Booming, man.
It's
Booming.
awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing music scene.
I made a living off it
Gigged
for
for-
10 years. now.
yeah.
Right.
I
So
left
we can-
You left, right? You went to LA, is that right?
Went down south.
for
Yeah.
songwriting.
myself
I it's funny because my partner's from Toronto, Adam Messer, who produced our album, and we went to LA only because there's just more opportunities for
They
us to
jumped
write.
ship.
Yeah. Right. What do you like better, writing or performing here?
Performing because
Yeah.
I'm performing songs that we wrote,
Right.
so it's just a win-win.
Yeah. Tell me about the next single.
We're very excited. Actually, you want to talk about it?
I don't really. I would
No,
love
no,
to
no.
hear your perspective.
Oh, I mean,
on
The
Right.
next single is called No Way No.
Right. We had it on repeat at the radio station all day today.
Yeah.
Did you really?
So it was like, okay, the video's awesome.
Thank you.
Like, that was super cool way you guys shot that.
Thank you.
So tell me about it. I mean,
For us, just having gone on at length about how we're not a reggae band is perhaps a poor example of because it is a very clearly a reggae song of ours. that has sort of that
Even a little more reggae. This one.
even in
Tiny
more so
bit.
than Rude in
Yeah,
some
I think
ways,
we really took the model of using a lot of like actual dub reggae sounds
Right,
in the
yeah.
production and stuff on this one. So, but then the hook is still pop. It's
Yeah.
still like our kind of thing. It's
Sure.
our flavors. But I think it's a really cool next step from Rude because it's kind of like it still has a bit of that, so people aren't like, what the hell's going on right now? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mhm.
Tell me about the process, how you make one song.
Well, when you talk about No Way No, I mean, No Way No, I remember walking into the studio hearing something out of the room, and Alex had started this, what do you call it, the one drop?
Mhm.
One drop.
This, and I'm like, what is he doing? This is kind of, it's almost like urban,
Sure.
like reggae. And then Ben was in there, and he started playing the started this bass line. And I was like, what are they creating? I was like, I thought they were making a hip hop track, I didn't realize, that, I was just going to start spitting something over it. And then there's actually footage that we'll put online one day of this video that a friend of ours caught of us starting to write, like, no way no. It was like, way no way. It was like we were like working with the lyrics, and all of a sudden it's like, no way no. And then I thought of this thing lyrically that I'm like, what if it's like, will I do something negative?
Yeah.
No way, no. Just to create this kind of like Jeopardy question answer weird thing, like.
Right.
So it just kind of worked out.
Totally.
And then Marc came in and played this. What is it called? Like, it's an organ,
It's
but
like a
it's like a whirly
Yeah.
kind of fusion, clavy, organy bridge, which is a amazing musical highlight of the song. So
Thanks, bro.
it's kind of a song that has everything. It has the reggae style, which people love in Magic, but it has the good, well-written pop song, and it has the musical side of Magic
Sure.
too. So it kind of lives in all the worlds that Rude did.
And in Mexico and Latin America, they think we're saying no bueno.
No bueno.
No
You
bueno.
see that,
no
right?
bueno.
Bueno. I love it.
What's your musical background?
Me?
Yeah, we'll start with you.
I mean, I
The dude.
who else? The dude.
Yeah,
I'm
he's the dude
today.
right now.
I just need a white Russian, really badly. My musical background, I started. I mean, I think my dad talks about me being like 6 months old and picking out he had a guitar lying around. I just kind of tried to find some notes in it, being really young.
Sure.
And then I got into piano at 4 and got into some instruments later on, and then bass at like 16. And then I went to college. So college is kind of where I learned music.
Where'd you go to
I
school?
went Humber College in Toronto.
Okay.
Majored in jazz performance. You learn all your theory, you learn your improv, but I was still always interested in kind of pop music, and I had this band on the side that was more like a jam band,
Right.
prog rock kind of a thing.
Sure.
So that was all my education. That was it. It was my
Right.
college experience. And then I just got into a career, and I played cover bands, and I played in wedding bands, and I played in bar mitzvah bands, and I played in original bands, played in hip hop bands, and country bands, and and R&B bands, and every kind of punk
Band camp?
So what's your influence? What's your
I love the Beatles, and I love Weezer, and I love Bob Dylan, and I love Obi-Wan Kenobi.
The music, the background music to Star Trek or Star Wars is one of his favorite things.
Right.
Diggable system.
Yeah. So what about you, Marc?
Similar background in a way. I mean, I started piano when I was about 6, and I practiced pretty hard when I was a kid. And when I picked up guitar around 12-ish, 13-ish, I guess, and I became very into guitar. I just
Right.
practiced it all day and night long. I played a lot of R&B music throughout my life, and jazz, and classical. I did a lot of classical piano.
Mm-hmm.
I went to university. First year of university was for classical piano, and then I switched into jazz guitar.
Okay.
And I went to the University of Toronto, actually, which is an amazing program in Canada for jazz education and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and then I did play in a whole bunch of cover bands too, from klezmer music to R&B, gospel. I played in a cover band with Ben too.
Okay. Is that where you guys met?
Actually, yeah.
So
that's where
did
we
you
met.
two know each other before you met them?
Actually, Alex and I played in a band called the Justin Nozuka Band for about 5 years together, and that's
Okay.
where we first met.
Now, what was it called? The
Justin Nozuka.
He's from
amazing,
Toronto.
amazing singer.
Amazing.
Okay.
from Canada. Yeah. And so that was basically my background. Just a lot of music throughout my life.
Right. So how'd you all come together?
Well, Marc and I guess the way it really started was Marc and I knew each other. Like, we're the first people that knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then Marc knew Ben, and Ben knew Nazari. Or no, sorry, and Marc knew Nazari. So it's kind of like, I'm not going to tell the story really well, so somebody else.
No, it basically
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
songwriting, really,
Right.
through songwriting and production. I had this kind of like theory in my head, and I found out later on that it, who's the guy who had the DreamWorks? Who had,
David Geffen.
David Geffen had the same thing that I did, and I didn't even know that he did it. That I just kind of opened up my home
Okay.
to like any writer, people from Toronto or,
Right.
or stuff like that. And I was really just to meet people, have fun, make music. And around that time, Marc was one of the first people that I kind of had this theory in my head. Let me just open this up to new writers, because
Okay.
I had been writing for people. I'd become a pretty big writer, but I was always kind of like me and a few people, and it was like, so we had expanded our studio to like 4 rooms.
Okay.
So we wanted to fill them, and then Marc stayed with me, and we really got along. We were kind of this boys from Toronto thing
And this was in LA.
in LA, and I was like, "Yo, dude, like, let's do some writing." And we talk about girls and writing, and
Sure.
and then we wrote for Chris Brown. We wrote "Please Don't Judge Me" together. And I was like, this guy's funny. He's fun. Most writers I've worked with, some professional producers, I'm really not their friends. We're business associates.
Sure.
And we go in, we write a song, we get it done. And you make some money, you make a living. But that wasn't enough for me anymore. I wanted friends. I wanted to have some fun in music.
Right.
And I felt like I had gotten to a point where I had gotten really good at writing a song for the radio. but I felt like it was lacking in. They started to lack in humanity, and it felt like a job.
Right.
So I quit.
Okay.
I said, Mark, let's start a band.
Yeah.
And then from that day on, I kind of switched. My gears switched, and I went back to being an artist. And then he introduced me to these
I gotta
boys.
say, he
and
really
started
opened,
Magic.
opened his arms up to me in L.A. I slept on his floor, you know, in his
On a
place.
mattress.
I mean, no, but no,
Not on
it
a
was,
floor.
It was comfortable. It was comfortable arrangement.
There's
I'm
a
saying-
perfectly good bed right next to you too, but it
Yeah.
just wasn't
And
that.
this band that you see before you, we actually all lived together too at a place that we called the Magic House for a while. It was
Still
a-
right now.
Not
No, no,
anymore.
okay.
But there was a period of time where we all lived together, you know, and
And you called it the Magic House?
we did.
It still
Yeah.
was called
Yeah.
like it was. That was the name for
Yeah.
everybody. Everybody else called it the Magic.
It was in
Any
LA.
friends? Oh, we're going to
It
the
wasn't
Magic House.
LA.
Halloween party. at the
Sometimes
Magic
North
House.
Hollywood area.
Sometimes I wake up alone. The concept again about the Magic House was to be close,
Sure.
was to force ourselves into a situation and say, hey, you know, if we can't get along in this house, then we probably shouldn't be a band.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just a constant party. So it ended
Absolutely.
up being working on all levels.
Now, when you're setting up to write your next album, would you guys all live together again?
It's already written,
Okay.
pretty much.
Pretty much.
We're just always
We're
writing,
nonstop.
We're always on
Yeah.
our computers and our laptops, and it's sort of just, it's not really like even a scheduled. Even when we lived together, it wasn't like, okay, today we're gonna get together and work on. It's just like always
Just
going on.
always.
Whenever
Somewhat like a movable cast, you know,
Right.
somebody comes
Yeah.
in and out.
Yeah.
And so we already worked on so many songs, but probably when it comes down to like the putting final touches, we'll probably get together somewhere.
Yeah,
someone's
that's
house.
yeah, like me. But we already all wrote together for like what would be the next album
Sure.
or the next album. I mean,
Right.
there's tons of songs always written. But you have to go in and produce them and work on them as a band and work on all of our arrangements and harmonies, and that's really the hard work. The writing of the song is not really the hard work, because that's just kind of a quick expression that comes out of a songwriter.
Sure.
That only takes about 10 minutes to write an idea.
Yeah.
And then it's about like now fine-tuning all those ideas, every lyric, every line, every melody, every rhyme.
So is it very difficult to choose which songs actually make it on the album?
Honestly, yes, but another way you do it is you just play them.
Yeah.
And people just either kind of every time smile and have a grin on their face, or you just stop playing it.
Right.
So it's just the songs that we always keep playing.
The cream rises to the
Cream
top.
rises.
Pretty much.
Now, would you play a song that you haven't recorded yet? Would you play that at a concert like tonight?
It's
We
a
do it, yeah.
Interesting
Okay.
question. Yeah, we have done it. Not so much for this compact set that we use to open up for Maroon 5, but on our club dates, we fill up a little more time. We've actually performed 2 songs that we didn't even release on our album. You know,
Yeah.
because we still really enjoy those songs. We think
Absolutely.
they're great. We just we just decided maybe not to include them on the album, and perhaps they will get released one day. But we play them live. And it's fun. So.
How's the tour been so far?
Great.
I mean, I think it's really great. We've gotten everything that we thought and more out of it, but we're a little pooped.
Yeah.
You know, it's been 45 days, and there's 4 days left, and our bodies are beat up like you should be after putting 100% into something.
Yeah.
So we're giving it 110 the last 4 days, and then we'll have a couple of days to relax before we go back into the rehearsals and the recording for the next
Sure.
batch. And of course, TV and everything we'll do for No Way No, which
Right.
is, the next single.
Yeah. So now, when you're out, would you do something with Maroon 5? Would you do a song?
If they let us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were
All
you
they
Maroon
gotta
5
do is
fans
ask.
before you went on tour with
Yeah.
them?
Yeah, we talked about opening for different bands, and we talked about Maroon 5. We were like, that'd be a perfect band to open
Yeah,
for.
sure.
And now here we are, and so that worked out pretty well.
They're
We'll
great
throw out
guys.
another band to open for. Ourselves.
Let's open
That's
for
it. Yeah,
ourselves.
headliners.
The Beatles.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
mean, we're actually, and that's the greatest thing about a tour like this is that you're in front of so many people that you're being exposed very quickly, and we're getting a great response. And so come the fall, we're going to go on our own tour
Sweet.
in America, and so look forward.
Yeah.
Everybody look out for that. Not look forward, look out for that. We're going to Japan. We have some festivals. We're doing a South American tour.
Killer.
Which Root is still like in the top 10 over there, but now No Way No is climbing, and
Yeah.
it's just like we always say, this year is really about solidifying the next song,
Yeah.
the album, and starting to really grow our touring business,
Right.
and to get a real flow going with the agents and the promoters and all the fans, knowing that Magic is a touring band.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. Who are you listening to right now?
The new Kendrick Lamar album.
Oh,
Yeah?
it's so good.
It's awesome,
so
isn't it?
good, dude.
I hear them listening to that. I want to hear it.
Yeah, you gotta like listen because he's so indulgent. He goes in all these crazy sections and stuff, but he's showing that he's a real artist.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
He's amazing.
he's coming out of that class of all the current hip hop artists and sort of like putting himself ahead. I think
Sure.
Musically too, it's just so jazzy.
there's no songs
and,
about
like,
popping bottles.
No.
No,
not
it's
at all.
not. Thematically, it's not about that. And
We
and
actually
vibe-wise,
have our whole
amazing.
second album is just about popping bottles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just going like
It's
this.
going to be one of the best
Don Julio.
experiences.
Well, you know, honestly, I mean, you guys have such a great vibe. Like, it's such a good energy. I mean, is there sort of like a message within your music?
I think so, and I think what it is, it's about finding a person's individuality and finding the peace in your spirit. You know, for myself, lyrically, I'm always trying to resolve some sort of issue that I have. You know, with Rude, that was more of a creative song, or No Way No.
Right.
At the beginning stages, you know, it's better to just put out a fun song because people don't really know you yet. And I'm a little shy. I don't really want you to know me yet. I just want to have some fun. Let's go on a couple dates. But once I start to let you know me as the singer and as the lyricist, you're going to see my flaws and the things that I've gone through and I'm going through. And for me, I'm trying to find that kind of spiritual peace all the time. I'm looking for it through music, through friendship. You know, that's why I ran away from kind of writing for monetary reasons or all that stuff, and why we love spending time with our fans or taking pictures, and just like touring the world and seeing the world. It's because musicians take a beating who pay their dues for years. You know, we've all had really hard roads to get to this point. We're not kids.
Yeah.
You know, so. You know, it's about rebuilding your spirit and sharing it with the world and relating to people on a much deeper level who've struggled.
Yeah. I love that. Sounds great. What's the rest of 2015 look like?
Strip joints and popping bottles.
Living out of a suitcase, I guess.
Yeah, it's touring. We're basically touring this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the plan. You know, new band after we've been together for 2.5 years. We're already getting to tour for a year. It's great. It's
hit the road.
fantastic.
So before I let you guys go, tell me like what was the best 1 or 2 minutes in the past 2 years for you?
Damn.
1 or 2 minutes.
It was fun when we won the Juno Awards and all our families were there, like
That
I
was
was
nice.
saying earlier. That
That
was
was
really
a-
nice because that was the moment. That was one of those first moments where everyone got to share in it at the same time. You know, we were all there, and everyone got up and we celebrated and we hugged. That was a nice couple minutes.
Right.
You know, a great moment for me, personally, was with my niece. She's 2 years old, and we did the show in Toronto. And my brother told me so that after our set, they put, you know, they have the headphones for kids, you know, to help for their hearing because we were at the big arena. That she gave us a thumbs up after our
That's
set.
awesome.
And she's very, very cute. Her name is Mila.
Thumbs up.
And she thumbs up.
There was a moment when we were in New York at a radio station. It was like freezing cold, and we went to the station and they played No Way No on the radio after some other song, and it sounded so good in the speakers. I was like, that made me feel amazing. I was
Killer.
like, our song is banging on the radio right now. You know?
It's
So
great. But really seeing the world too, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place, man.
Yeah.
We hope everybody gets a chance to see the places they want to go, and you know, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
And
you.
cool
man.
interviewers like you,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Asking good
Let's beat 'em
questions.
up!
Let's do it.
Thank you, man.
Dude, thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
You guys are great.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Best of
Marc.
luck. Everything.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate
Seriously.
it. Man.
Yeah.
Thank you.